We outplaced our seed in Genesis X2 doubles. Here's how our run went. And woohoo! I have Melodic with me on the mic, and we're just gonna go through every single match that we played, kind of give an overview and share some cool little clips that we got with you guys.
We were seeded 39th, but we outplaced our seed by like 2-3 sets and got 13th out of 70.
Yeah, which is super raw for our very first time competing in doubles. Actually, we actually did a lot of preparing for doubles Genesis, and I think we exceeded our expectations and even went further. You know,
we only lost to first and 9th, the Doc and Dark, who won it all, and then Ion and his teammate.
Yeah, it's so awesome that the Doctor and Dark actually went on to win the whole tournament. They were seeded like what, 7th or something?
Yeah, just 7th.
But they went on a tear and they like just destroyed everyone. They went game 5 in grand finals, took the set, and then they won the reset 3-0, which just says how good they are. We
actually ended up playing them for some friendlies, and we lost like 14 games in a row, and we were like, yeah, these guys are pretty good. And then we saw them win Genesis.
One game, bro. We took one singular game against them.
Wild. And then we saw them win Genesis, and we're like, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, they're pretty okay. Anyways, let's get into this overview. But before we do, I just want to say use code ItsCyan in the checkout thingy in the supporter creator program. Yep. That's all I want to say. Like and subscribe. Melodic, are you using code ItsCyan?
Every day of the week.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. All right, let's get into it. This is us mentally preparing to go play doubles.
Look at my controller.
Yeah, look at his controller and look at mine. Wow.
Wow.
It's sugoi. So our winners round 1 was against a Loxodon Crag team, which is not unheard of. We have fought a lot of these.
So many Loxes on teams. It's crazy.
It's true.
Yeah, this one went really well. I was a little bit nervous in the morning, but then once we started playing this game, I like remembered everything that I needed to do and how to be a cool guy and combat with you. Yeah,
he was a very cool guy. I was also pretty nervous, but after this game 1, I felt super confident.
Yeah, this was against Furio X and Bani Nawi.
We took game 1 with a nice little 2 stock. It would have been 3 if I didn't down B off stage for last stock. But I needed the style points. It would have been so sick. And then that takes us to game 2, where we're both feeling really confident, and we just played super well around each other. As you can see, we were getting our team combos off a little bit better than before.
Yeah, I think that we were moving around together a lot better than game 1. My forward smash actually hit there. I throw out forward smash just when I get confident, but yeah.
And then Loxodon lost his second stock to his teammate grabbing ledge. I feel that super hard. So this leaves us with the Crag after I clean up the Loxodon with a nice little up smash from Melodic's Fair. And Melodic nicely cleans up the last stock of that set. And that brings us to winners round 2.
Woo!
Woo! Winners round 2 brings us to the Doctor and Dark. Very, 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 very good team.
We took one game off of them after playing them for like 15 games. And so I was like, yeah, I think we got this. And Cyan was also like, yeah, I think we got this. And
yeah, and then we played, and we in fact do not got this.
We proceeded to not have it.
We ended up getting 6 stock game 1. And then game 2, we tried to adjust as the best that we could, but at the end of the day, we just didn't have the same flow as them, and they ended up cleaning up the rest of the set with a nice 4 stock.
We asked for tips from them on how to just play better, and it was actually super useful. And so when we moved on to our loser sets, it just felt like we were playing better, way better overall than in winners.
This brings us to losers round 2, 2 sets to get out. So at this point, we're feeling really confident. We felt like there wasn't really another team that could beat us like that, if you know what I'm saying. So we felt pretty confident in our losers run. I mean, this set was against
Haram and Jug Fidetti.
GG's to them as well. Game 1 against them, we take very convincingly with a nice 3 stock. And we hit a little nice conversion there, and he ended up dying from a misspaced side B.
Yeah, no bubble on stage.
And then game 2, they run it back with the Locks Orcane. And at this point, we're just kind of cruising in losers. But yeah, we were hitting our team combos, we were hitting our edge guards. It was just kind of a wash at this point. So we cleaned that set up with a nice down throw back air combo. And with that set win, that brings us to our top 24 qualifier set. And this brings us against Abby and Soldier First, their team. And unfortunately, that is a Utah team kill. So you hate to see that happen, especially when we all like travel to a completely different region and everything.
Yeah. We really didn't think we'd run into them, but just because we were on opposite sides of like the bracket, but they upset people and some teams and did really well. So
yeah, which is awesome. We ended up taking it with a nice forward throw up smash, kill confirm. So game 1 we take very convincingly, very nicely. And game 2, Abby ended up switching to Fleet, which made it a little bit harder to maneuver around the stage, kind of like a stage hazard character.
yeah, I feel like I wasn't looking out for Fleet specific things as much. I think I got a little overconfident.
And they continued to play very well. So getting 2 stocked and Melodic getting hit by the Melodic.
No.
Melodic getting raw crag F smashed. But that brings us to game 3 against Abby and Soldier First to make it out of pools, loser side. And at this point, I was a little bit more nervous than any of our other sets, but we still ended up playing clean. We were hitting our team combos.
And on a large stage like Fire Capital, I feel like that helped us out so much against a character like Fleet. It just didn't allow for them to like save each other.
Yeah, we were doing a good job at keeping them separated, and part of being in the same region is we kind of know what to expect from these players, so it makes it a little bit easier to play around that as well. But yeah, we ended up taking game 3 with a nice 3 stock, actually, with a cool little team combo at the end, which is actually so cheap.
It's scooped from like below you. It's crazy.
Yeah, here I am, very surprised that we made it out of pools.
Yeah, I felt like the pressure was just off because doubles was the thing that I cared about the most when traveling in Genesis. Like even singles for Rivals and Ultimate, I was just like, well, it was like whatever to me compared to that. So
yeah, I agree. I wanted to do well in both, but doubles, like we worked super hard in doubles just for Genesis, you know. So I'm really happy with making it out of pools as well. But that is not it. We went further beyond.
Even further beyond. Sorry.
So our first match out of pools was actually like, we weren't expecting to play against these guys. We were expecting to play against...
Yeah, it was supposed to be Beastly and Omar, but they had a DQ. So
yeah, so they had to DQ. That brings us against Fishbait and Narc. Fishbait and Narc were a Locks Zetterburn team. They actually ended up taking game 1 with a nice little 2 stock. We made a nice little adjustment game 2.
It really did help that we were on Fire Capital for the second game, especially against a character like Zetterburn, because I feel like I was not looking out for his aerials and not covering you as much. So having a bigger space really just helped that out, I feel like.
Yeah, we kind of became untouchable a little bit here. But we ended up taking game 2 with a nice little ledge trap here. Nice little back air and affair that was raw. Game 3, we actually, rewatching these, it's kind of crazy that we even lost the game. We actually adjusted so hard this game 3, and we took it with a nice 2 stock.
So clean. I remember trying my hardest just to not get hit, especially against a Zetterburn and Locks. So, we did really good.
Yeah, we did really. We adjusted really hard that set, and I think we used a lot of Dark and the Doctor's tips in that set specifically too. I'm very proud about how we played that. And then after that, we had to go on. Yeah, we had to fight Ion and Cold Shell for 13th. And they were Crag and Maple. Melodic takes my last stock with a nice little back air.
Oh, yeah. Whoopsie.
So
I feel like if we played this set right after Narc and Fishbait, we would have been fine, but it was like a while until we played this one.
That's true. But after that, they ended up pretty much washing us. They were kind of covering all the bases. They both played very well. And yeah, GG's to them. Congrats on 9th place, Ion and Cold Shell. And then right here, let's go back a little bit, shall we? So Ion gets up. He comes to fist bump me. And you know what he said right there? Go back. I need to see this again. He walks up to me and he says,
I really like your content, by the way.
and that blew my mind. And yeah, that concludes our Genesis X2 doubles run. And I think I'm very happy with how we did.
Yeah, I think we played super well. I think we played like way better than what we thought, because just being in person at a tournament is just so different than playing online. Yeah, I'm excited for wherever we play again offline. I think we'll do a lot better.
We're not going to stop here. This won't be the last time you see Cyan Dick.
Cyan Dick got 13th at Genesis.
Anyways, thank you for watching our little doubles overview. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah.